Honestly, this is what she's like all the time. Come and deliver with. This is what she does. Bunny hops all over the place.
Insane. Why do they have to stay there with their dogs? I mean, they could make an appointment or make a meeting with a nice cup of tea, but no, they would stand there around with their dogs. Because, I mean, I can hear the raindrops, they're speaking quietly, so, but they can raise their voice. I don't know, talking about their dogs as if it's a modelling contest. Boo, boo. I'm recording because I find it threatening. And my bunny does too, because the dog is a predator of the bunny, and it's frightening. The noise is frightening her. Why don't they go further away than actually talk and chit chat under my balcony? It's wrong. I don't know what they mean by this. It's just so immature. It's just that it's nice to have neighbours talk to each other, but is it necessary to do so for a whole hour under my balcony so that they can get the attention? It's like deliberately done for attention seeking. Oh, look at me. I can stay here. I can stay here for an hour under your balcony and just ask for attention. The dogs were barking. God damn it. So I'm just going to try and mask this and filter this because this is my balcony. There's my hamster over there. Yeah. So underneath me it's their territory, but if they stay there chatting and making too much noise for about an hour or so, I find that threatening. They're quite quiet. For now. And I haven't hung my head over the balcony. I have not spoken to them. But I should do a mental health assessment on them as to why are they standing around talking with each other with their dogs. And it's not the same woman, it's a different woman. Other woman has red hair and has her dog fouling on the other side of the building. I mean, it's a nice gesture to talk, but why do they have to do it in that spot? There's no bench there. There's an area over there for putting your clothes up. So it's disgusting. If the dog does foul, I don't have to put up with the smell. There's 3 dogs here. 3 dogs. And I've masked my thing. I've spoken to the neighbour only once. I haven't spoken to them today. And said, just made inquiries, and the neighbour confirmed that they do pick up after their dogs, and they have a special box for putting the fouling of the dog. But the point is, I put my laundry here, and I don't want to at the balcony, and I don't want to have to smell dog shit. There it is. So again, I have not said anything because these people are unreasonable, and they behave the same as Nazis and fascists. They behave the same as Nazis and fascists, gloating over me to say that they're going around as if they're sniffing for drugs with sniffer dogs and police. And they're disgusting because they're saying, shut your door. If you don't want to listen to us, shut the door. Now, this is to me provoking, and I'm not going to shut my door. So in this situation, I have to wear earplugs so I don't have to listen to his muffled, horrible voice. Moo, 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 moo. So they've made an effort to lower their voice, but I can still hear them. It's not a place to linger. I mean, it's not a place to linger your dog. And the reason why they're doing it is because they want attention. They want to compete and challenge my mental health, to test me out, to try me out. What's she going to do? Is she going to... I have many medical conditions, and I don't need this. I don't need it. I find it very threatening. I can't go outside for a walk without being tracked and traced by horrible individuals in their cars while I'm on foot. And so I find it very threatening behaviour. I wouldn't find it threatening if they were talking, just chit-chatting together, maybe having a beer out there, whatever. If they had like a barbecue or something like that with her friends, I wouldn't find that offensive because it's normal, it's social. But what I find offensive is the fact that they've brought their dogs there, which is insane. The dogs do not belong there, but they've made it like that. So they've scrutinised me. They've put my social media on the worst platform with war criminals and murderers, and yet they've given them too much freedom. They were talking about the dog's behaviour. They were talking about the camera filming their dogs, which is weird. Total weirdos. Strange. Very, very strange that they would introduce dogs to each other outside the balcony. You would expect that on a field or in the special park area where they talk about their dogs, but you don't expect it in an area where it's supposed to be maybe a catering area, a laundry area. No. So I'm very angry by it because they did deliberately to see, and the other night, in about 48 hours from now, they made children go around shouting, Casey this, Casey that. So they've gone to steal my information. I'm having boiled eggs. From my social media to make it look like it's a coincidence when it's no coincidence. So they're looking at my social media without me inviting them. I don't know who they are. I've only ever spoken to them once when I made inquiries about the building laws being broken and football hooliganism that is being taught. So according to the Bible and the Holy Spirit witness, it says that Jesus also had a sense of preparation through prayer before meeting in the public. But his followers 2,000 years ago denied him of having any children. So he said, let the children come to me. They need to be in my company. And that's exactly what they did in the mission of antisocial behavior, to deprive me of my domestic policies. From the start to the stop. So they're always nearby devices, signals, pagan towns who are godless. So they don't have the value of people who are struggling to survive, who are unwell. And they've had too much freedom to get onto my social media platforms. And I've never invited them. I never invited them there. So is there any point? It's pointless to be a non-criminal since the criminals have too much freedom, according to the systemic abuse. And I'm saying no, because God can see all my actions and my behaviors, and God is an invisible God who is against the invisible enemy. So there's a right time and the right place for everything. It's the wrong time, it's the wrong place for them to bring their dog to gang up on me, so that they would disturb my peace and tranquility this evening. So they have an inferior attitude. It's a disposition of the corrupt heart, which is not Christian, which is hostile, or if not hostile, indifferent, or so what, that you are different. So they expect everybody to be the same, but the reality is not everybody's the same. Some of us are sick, some of us are not sick, some of us need more privacy than others, and the authorities don't get that. So that dog and them chatting like that has been there for 2 hours. 2 hours is a long time. And they're disregarding me and treating me as if I'm some type of an illegal alien since I've lived here for 12 years. I don't know, maybe they want to deport me. Maybe they want to put me in prison. Maybe they want to put me into the nut house. So to me, being directly under the balcony is entrance to my territory. It's not only their territory. So I'm in disagreement to say that they should have a special incidence of going around for 2 hours, which is a deliberate antisocial behavior with their dogs. Is that necessary? if they want to talk about their dogs, they can do it at the right time and at the right place. Why do they have to do it when everybody's come back from work and when families want to settle down and perhaps open their balcony door to have some fresh air? As I'm doing. So it is a domestic terrorist, underlining the fact that they've been there for 2 hours. They've exceeded their welcome. I haven't welcomed them because it's an animal. It's not a human. That's what I mean. They have always found a loophole to pervert the land ownership of the landlord. So if they did the fouling on the public footpath that belonged to the local council, they would be charged a fine and not picking up after it. The horrible mess the dog has done. But since it is on the landlord, who is Thrive Homes, and it's on their land, they can get away with this type of attitude and do a psychological projection to say, I'm the one who has an attitude problem. I'm the one who's got the problem with it. I have no problem with people in general walking their dogs or talking about their cats. But I think it's insanity for them to do it so that they can bring me out to see if I talk to them, to do a mental health assessment on me. That's what this is. This is what this is about. Them being superior because they are employed and I'm unemployed, that they're fit and healthy and I'm unfit and unhealthy. This is what this is about, which is an oppressor. It's oppression. So they're constructing some type of formula or some type of plan where they can agitate me, irritate me. And to me, I find that threatening. They'll say, oh, no, we're just here chatting, It's never happened before. It has happened before. And I heard somebody talk about a bitch this and bitch that, she's this and she's that. And I found that very offensive. And I hadn't spoken to them, but I don't feel like they're my neighbour all of a sudden. I feel like they're troublemakers and I don't feel safe as a result. That they're concentrating on this. Meanwhile, my landlord has denied me to concrete the bathroom floor properly. I thought I was going to fall through the floor. Everything that they've done, the many disrepairs, it was all done wrong, deliberately. And so they've done it in an even more powerful manner where they can gloat over me to say, you see how we treat your neighbours differently who are employed and house owners compared to those who are unemployed and not house owners or property leaseholders. So in relation to this judgment and action, it is overseen by a corrupt governor in Hertfordshire that has overrun the system to find out who's claiming state benefits, who's not claiming state benefits, who's the house owners, who are not the house owners. So they want to smoke us out or sniffer dogs to get out so that they can capture us in detention centres, mental health centres. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're behaving as sniffer dogs. Come on, come out. Or as if they want to smoke me out as a rat, so that I can then record it and then be incriminated by the corrupt authority, by the very rats. They're the ones who are the dirty rodents. So I've been deprived of my basic civil rights and attacked in my own home by the principle of the fact that the government has transformed my homeland, which is United Kingdom, England, into some type of a revolutionary slogan that says, migrant this, migrant that. Why do they have to use that term, migrant? Because it has a bad influence on legal migrants. So many people who are insane or who are, that means they don't have the common sense. They don't have capacity to reality. That's what insanity means, in my opinion. And many people who are insane or who are without any responsibility criminals, they would in simplistic terms, say that I am the problem. I'm automatically the problem. Like, if they were chatting there with beer or barbecue, I wouldn't mind, because that's normal. What they're doing, in fact, is not normal. So that's what I have underlined in this video. They have reoccurring ideas about me based on gossip, based on fascist society, based on the local police, based on all of these who hold records against me, which are disinformation, and which is never regulated because privacy and confidentiality. The police officer told me, since I've used social media, it's the same as being in the phone box outside or sitting on a bench. That's how bad it is, because she wanted to put me off using social media. So they've again deprived me of community and of people who think essentially like me. They don't want me to subscribe to anybody. They don't want me to use the internet. They don't want me to be around my family. They don't want me to have any political affiliation, because in the community, that's how they get to dominate. So if I have political affiliation on social media, that makes me powerful and it makes them less powerful. If my video was successful and has had millions of views and they only had a few views or none at all, they suddenly want to rump up something or suddenly want to fight me. But God says, love your enemies and coexist with them. So I did. I have corrected people who made a mistake in conflict, but that correction doesn't work. Not with a narcissist, not with an abuser. So the only thing I can do is suffer in silence, because the more I correct their mistake, the more aggravated they become. So suffering in silence is a huge thing. I sound black. So I'm without boundaries as a result of what I've just filmed. And their voice is getting a bit louder now. So I have developed a personality which is merciful. I'm not bitter. I'm not a horrible antisocial person that they want to shit on me. They basically want to shit on all people in poverty. So that's not me. And I want to denounce all false accusations and disinformation and defamation. I want to do that, but the fact that all tradition is not good. Most tradition is good, but maybe there's 50%. So the other half is not good. Oh my God. And it makes me cringe because the neighbour knows that I am alone. And when I threw my fish over the balcony to kill the dog as a one-off to give it to the foxes, but accidentally I nearly tripped over and had mobility difficulties, and I threw it in the wrong side of the grass. I normally throw it in the bushes, which only is like twice a year or so. And he came up here shouting at me, that black man that I just filmed. But his wife was more polite. Oh, I'm also disabled. Ah, and my husband. So she just put on this horrible voice, it's like showing off. I've got a husband and you don't. She's disgusting. I think my neighbours are utterly disgusting, in the sense that they're boasting and bragging and gloating over me in suffering. And I just don't want... Anyway, I just don't want to listen to them for too long. That's the whole point. Because I know that they're doing it deliberately with the dogs. If the dogs were not there, I would know that it's not deliberate. Since they've brought the dogs here, yeah, So they've taken away my dreams. I always wanted a security dog. I never got one, like a bulldozer. To bite them on the bum. I always wanted a dog. So they took away my dream. They took away my one and only daughter. They took away everything. My home, my privacy, and my right to have some peace and quiet. My rabbit doesn't like it. She's over there. She doesn't like it. It's a natural predator. She's saying, what the hell?